I met my husband working on the factory floor. As the industry shifted, we had to pivot. I went back to school when my kids were 3 and 5 years old to better provide for our family. Education opened doors for me, and that's why I'm fighting for the same opportunities for all our kids. I have a plan to invest in career training programs and make our public schools the best in the nation. I'm Shannon Deere Wayne, and I'm fighting for education because our kids deserve it.
Turn it down. What up? What up? We got a lot of news to discuss. I'm gonna let everybody get in, and then we gonna let the news commence. So make sure y'all like it up. Need at least 50 likes. So please like, share the link, do all those good things. I typically don't ask, but today I'm asking. There's a lot of crime going on right now. Okay, we can start with whichever one you want to start with. Let the good people know where it's coming from. You just go to the library and go to what you was going to.
did the person found hanging?
I can't hear you.
During a recent Senate campaign stop, Mike Rogers.
They couldn't hear that.
And we want to emphasize this person of
Injustice.
interest, since they have not been charged with a crime in this case. We are not disclosing their name or showing their photo.
You gotta move, like turn. Yeah.
1 week now since 29-year-old Tasia Fortune's body was found hanging from a tree in the backyard of a vacant house in West Jackson. We could soon find out more about how Fortune died.
We're expecting to hear on Thursday from the state medical examiner as what the official cause of death is.
According to testimony in municipal court, investigators have charged an individual as a person of interest on unrelated charges. The 65-year-old man was questioned in the hours after Fortune was found hanging from a tree in the backyard of a vacant house on Road of Remembrance 1 week ago.
People are upset about it, and quite naturally they should be. This is something that's a very disturbing situation in case in our city and in our state. But we're not going to jump to conclusions.
Officers found the gun on the man and realized he was a convicted felon. They charged him with being a felon in possession of a firearm. Authorities say the person lives on the same street where Fortune's remains were found. They say he admitted to arguing with Fortune 2 days before her remains were found, but he denied harming her. Given Mississippi's reputation of racially motivated lynchings, Mayor Horn says he understands why many may be feeling afraid.
When incidents like this pop up, the natural conclusion is, oh, there's something very heinous and that harkens back to our past. That's a part of this. I'm not sure that's the case at this point.
That person of interest, who again we are not naming or showing their photograph, that individual was being held, was given a bond for $250,000 on that charge of being a felon and possession of a firearm. And we just checked the recent Hinds County inmate detail. That person is still listed as someone inside right in the detention center. For now, we're live at JPD headquarters. Ross Adams at 16 WAPT News.
Okay, that took place in Mississippi. Someone found hung. Of course, it's a black person found hung. We already know that wasn't a suicide. Most blacks don't hang themselves, so I'm not going for that either. I'm sure Ben Crump is going to get on that case eventually. We already know Ben Crump, he loves stories like that. He will be probably a part of that case. Any racially motivated crimes that's coming across a bit conspiratorial, Ben Crump is the man. He's gonna be on that case, I'm sure. But yeah, that's unfortunate for the sister found hung. Mississippi is known for hanging people. I believe Mississippi is one of those states. Let me get in the camera. I believe Mississippi is one of those states where they call it Hangtown, Mississippi. So, you know, Mississippi, they still do all that type of stuff, man. It's unfortunate, but it's extremely racist in Mississippi. And I love Mississippi. Mississippi, I believe, Mississippi has the most African Americans in that state. I believe it has the largest black population out of all the states. And it's a lot of racially motivated crimes, and it's unfortunate. And it seems like, you know, most of the blacks is being victimized in those cases. I don't really hear too many cases that come out. Maybe they obscure them or whatnot, but I don't really hear too many racially motivated crimes occurring as far as blacks victimizing whites. It's typically the other way around. But no, you know, when it pertains to people taking themselves out, especially blacks, that method is not commonly used by us. I'm just being honest. You know, there's other methods that people use other than hanging. You know, if it was in prison, then that would be a different story. This ain't prison, so they definitely gonna get down to the bottom of that. which one was
First grade teacher. He's fucking older.
Okay, we got
I
a
don't know
first
where it
grade teacher ran a deadly fentanyl operation
Out the classroom.
out the classroom. So she on some young nigga move that dope. She pushing that dope out of the classroom, man.
This one is hilarious.
This is a sad story right here. Let me get out the way so y'all can see everything clear, and then I'll get back with my commentary. Let's go.
Of America, and turning now to this morning's Newsmax crime report, a disturbing.
Okay, let's let that over.
Coming up on 42 minutes past the hour, welcome back to Wake Up America. And turning now to this morning's Newsmax crime report, a disturbing case out of Maryland where police busted a first grade teacher for running a fentanyl operation while she was supposed to be teaching in the classroom.
Yeah, and to make matters worse, federal prosecutors accuse her of getting high on cocaine during the school day as well. Newsmax crime correspondent Jason Matera has this disturbing story.
Being in a classroom with, 5, 6, 7-year-olds and being responsible for their well-being, it's absolutely outrageous.
Sarah Magid taught first grade in Silver Spring, Maryland. But according to the Justice Department, she was also a drug dealer and addicted to the same product.
Nah, y'all gotta hit that like button. Hit them likes, man. Get me in the algorithm. I need y'all to hit them likes. We have a first grade teacher. Let me get on the camera. We have a first grade teacher running a fentanyl operation out of the classroom. How outlandish does this get? How diabolical does this get? A first grade teacher. Her job is to govern first graders, supervise first graders, teach first graders. Instead of her doing that, she's running a deadly fentanyl operation. We have a teacher, alleged teacher, putting little children at risk, potentially exposing them to deadly fentanyl. Come on, man. Hit them likes, man. Hit them likes. This is crazy. Let me run this back for y'all. Hold on, let me run this back.
She was selling.
Coming up on 42 minutes past the hour, welcome back to Wake Up America. And turning now to this morning's Newsmax crime report, a disturbing case out of Maryland where police busted a first grade teacher.
Oh, this out of Maryland.
For a fentanyl operation while she was supposed to be teaching in the classroom.
Yeah, and to make matters worse, federal prosecutors accuse her of getting high on cocaine during the school day as well. Newsmax crime correspondent Jason Matera has this disturbing story.
Being in a classroom with, 5, 6, 7-year-olds and being responsible for their well-being, it's absolutely outrageous.
Sarah Magid taught first grade in Silver Spring, Maryland. But according to the Justice Department, she was also a drug dealer and addicted to the same product she was selling.
She was on cocaine and fentanyl throughout the school day, and then of course, would leave the school and walk outside and deliver drugs to other individuals, during school hours.
Kelly Hayes, the U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland, says an anonymous tip exposed Magid's double life, one that stretched back to at least 2019. But it was in 2020 that Magid had to figure out how to keep the operation running without getting behind the wheel of a car. She had lost her license due.
So this so-called poor excuse of a teacher, not only is she selling and running a deadly fentanyl operation, she in class, high as hell off that booger sugar. These teachers is corrupt. There's a lot of corrupt teachers, not all of them, but some of these teachers is corrupt, and it don't make sense. More and more of them is getting exposed every day. I'm hearing more and more disgusting stories when it pertains to child welfare, child endangerment, when it pertains to teachers. I don't know what's going on, whether it be first grade all the way to 12th grade. It doesn't matter. We have a lot of corrupt teachers. And I'm glad they're getting exposed. They're in the wrong profession. This lady is doing lines of cocaine, potentially putting these kids, ain't no potential. She's definitely putting these kids' lives at high risk of being exposed to fentanyl. That stuff is extremely deadly. You shouldn't even be able to, I heard you can't touch it. Even touching it could kill you. You don't even want it to enter the bloodstream. So yeah, let's resume.
To a DUI conviction.
She had to rely on either folks coming to her at the school or at her home.
Which brings us to March of 2024. Magid wanted 30 pills which were allegedly pressed to look like oxycodone but laced with fentanyl. So authorities say she sent a friend to pick them up, someone who himself was trying to get his life back on track.
And mind you, this is while he was living in a sober living facility, meaning he was trying to become sober and was trying to fight his addiction.
The friend makes the run and delivers the supply to Magid's door. But prosecutors say she didn't pay him in cash. Instead, she gave him one pill as a thank you for the trip. 2 days later, he was found dead. The medical examiner ruled it as fentanyl toxicity, which then...
Y'all heard that. She gave this man a fentanyl pill. And he was found dead. That's how deadly fentanyl is. So imagine what it'll do to a kid. It's probably enough to take out a classroom. This is a grown man dying from a fentanyl pill that she administered and gave to this man. Hit that like button. Hit those shares. Let's resume.
Sparked an investigation.
We got search warrants for Miss Magid's residence and seized her electronic devices, including her phone, and then we're able to analyze her text messages.
Those text messages helped detectives connect Magid to the fatal overdose and revealed how the first grade teacher reacted afterward.
Showed no remorse, no guilt, and in fact continued to distribute pills that she had received after knowing that she was responsible for distributing a single fatal pill that ultimately resulted.
Look, she ain't showing no remorse. She's showing no contrition. She's not contrite whatsoever. That's what drugs do to people. They have no compassion, no regard for other people. Only thing that they care about is their drug of choice. She's too high. She's too much of an addict to even have compassion or to even acknowledge her wrongdoings, her transgressions. This is diabolical, man. This is coming out of Maryland. We're talking about a first grade teacher running a deadly fentanyl operation. Hit the like button. Let's resume.
To that individual's, one of her friends' death.
Court records show that in the month following that deadly overdose, the 36-year-old returned to the same supplier
This is where she can speak
11
out.
more times, purchasing 425 additional pills, all while using the Maryland Elementary School as a meeting point in her drug distribution network.
Absolutely nothing about this woman is appropriate for her to be a school teacher, and I'm very glad that ultimately from the end.
Look at the woman. She looks zooted on every damn photo. She high as hell on every photo that we've seen thus far. Look at her. I know a fiend when I see one. That's Auntie. Auntie, you good? She's not good. She needs the fentanyl. Let's resume.
Anonymous complaint in particular, that we were able to bring this to light and bring this to justice.
And for Sarah Magid, the only lesson she'll be giving now will come from behind bars. She pleaded guilty to conspiracy to distribute a controlled substance. And on July 15th, the federal judge sentenced her to 12 years and 7 months in prison. She was also ordered to pay the burial costs for the friend she gave the fentanyl-laced pill that prosecutors say ultimately killed him. Mark, Charlotte?
Okay.
No, I'm trying to process that. Did she get 12 years because of the deadly fentanyl operation? Or do y'all believe that part of that 12 years came from the fentanyl that she administered to the man that was in his 30s, early 30s, that ultimately died from one of the fentanyl pills that she gave him? I'm sure that was worked into her sentence. To me, for her to be responsible of that man's death, for her to be responsible of running a deadly fentanyl operation, also for her to be putting first graders in danger, child endangerment. her receiving only 12 years, she got off good if you ask me. I would have thought her sentence would be a lot more lengthier than that.
You think they're on her teaching license too?
Yeah.
That's a hell of a plea deal she was given.
She was teaching these young kids, 6 years old, while she's doing drugs and dealing drugs on the side. All right, Jason.
What we going on?
The next one,
Right here.
yeah, that was pretty.
Okay,
That happened here in Southfield.
We have two dead in triple shooting at
Happened.
Southfield restaurant earlier.
Yeah, that happened at, like, this morning,
This was this morning,
like 4 or 5 in the morning.
4 or 5 in the morning. For those that don't know where Southfield is, Southfield, let me turn this down. Southfield is a city that's adjacent to Detroit. Once you cross 8 Mile on the northwest side, that would be Southfield. The next bordering neighboring city would be Southfield. That's where this story took place at. Southfield is nowhere near as corrupt as Detroit. However, a lot of people from Detroit moved to Southfield.
Restaurant after hours. We appreciate you joining us.
Let's rewind that back.
Simon Shakat, two.
And
Hit
first,
that like
were
button.
victims now identified in a triple shooting at a Southfield restaurant after hours. We appreciate you joining us. I'm Glenda Lewis.
I'm Simon Shakat. 2 people were killed and a third injured at the Hidden Gem off 9 Mile Road early Sunday morning, and tonight police believe the gunman is still out there.
7 News Detroit reporter Darren Cunningham is talking to the chief and also had some questions for the owner of the restaurant.
Southfield police say they recovered 4 weapons, including one from one of the people gunned down here during a gathering turned violent here at the Hidden Gem restaurant.
We're still investigating. No one's in custody at this point. We are making progress.
Chief Elvin Barron says part of that progress in solving Sunday's triple shooting at what he calls an after-hours establishment is a tip from Detroit police.
It's some theories, some information about some conflicts between a couple groups. But again, it has to be properly vetted and investigated.
What's clear, 2 men were killed in the altercation. The chief identified 24-year-old Christopher Griffin Jr. of Redford, who was shot in the leg and died in the hallway, and 28-year-old Johnny Jackson of Harper Woods, who died across the street at Providence Hospital. An unidentified 31-year-old man from New Haven, rushed to Sinai Grace, survived.
Unfortunately,
Imagine that. He got off good. For those that don't know about Sinai Grace, people go in with a pulse and they come out in a bag. Sinai Grace is the wrong hospital to go to for any type of guns, trauma, any type of thing like that when it pertains to guns. Any type of shootings, things of that nature, gunshot wounds and stuff. The last place you want to go to is Sinai Grace. Trust me.
Well, that's the one that survived. The one that died was at
I
Providence.
understand. That's why I said he's extremely lucky and fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Because most people that go to Sinai Grace, they go in,
They don't come.
but they don't come out. Sinai Grace is a terrible hospital, and you could tell them I said it. What restaurant was this again?
It's called Hidden Gem.
You been there before?
No.
What type? Oh, it's new? Okay, so this is a relatively new restaurant. I've never heard of it. I'm not sure what type of cuisine they serve or whatnot. But this is common with new restaurants. People there, you know, it's receiving a lot of traction, a lot of publicity. A lot of people it's in high demand. A lot of people want to rush to try out this new restaurant. And anytime it's a new grand opening or something along those lines, it get extremely contentious. You have people arguing over parking spots. You have people disgruntled, upset at the long lines, the long waits. Not saying that's what took place here, but I'm telling you what commonly happens in the city of Detroit and neighboring cities out here in Michigan when it's new restaurants. People are extremely anxious and they temperamental and impulsive, and sometimes, you know, it get a little physical, it get a little violent. You know, I'm speculating that's what occurred in this situation. Hit that like button.
He was uncooperative and refused to provide any additional information to detectives regarding his injuries.
You already know he a gangster. He's straight from Detroit. He's not talking to no police. He has revenge on his mind. So we already know why he ain't cooperating.
He was from New Haven.
He was from New Haven, but he could have been raised in the city of Detroit. But
That's about Flint, though.
okay, yeah, well, you're right. Well, Flint is gangster too. Flint is a wild city as well, but he not cooperating. He not doing the whack 100 Charleston white move. He holding it down. He gonna let the police do their investigations and figure it out for themselves, as I would. Let's resume.
Detectives collected firearms from 3 armed security guards who were on scene. Detectives also recovered a handgun belonging to one of the deceased victims.
7 News Detroit spoke with the owner of Hidden Gem, who declined an interview. He said it was a private event. Someone had requested to use his establishment, and that he does not employ security guards nor sell alcohol. And he said the shootings happened outside of the restaurant.
At this time, the management of Hidden Gems has been cooperative. However, there will be additional conversation and investigations because we have an expectation that businesses follow the rules associated with the approvals for running their establishments.
Anyone with information is encouraged to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. In Southfield, Darren Cunningham, 7 News Detroit.
That was crazy. So they saying that that took place outside the restaurant. This restaurant doesn't even serve drinks. So I'm trying to understand what
They
took
probably rented
place.
it out, did like BYOB type thing.
You think it was some road rage or something along that? Parking issues?
Probably men egos. Who knows? It was
Because
a private event.
if you are, oh, it's a private event.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of odd right there. Okay, let's see what else we have on the docket.
The firefighter.
Okay, ex-Detroit firefighter charging several home fires. So we have an arsonist, you know, being incendiary, starting fires, setting houses on fires. If you never had the luxury of coming to Detroit, we have a lot of abandoned homes. A lot of them.
This morning accused of setting several homes on fire, and that's not all.
Let
The
me
crimes
rewind that
happened
back. Y'all hit that like button. Hit the likes, please. I implore you to hit the likes. That's all I ask. Just hit the likes for me. Let's resume.
Former Detroit firefighter behind bars this morning accused of setting several homes on fire, and that's not all. The crimes happened over a 25-day period. The first incident happened on July 10th. That's when prosecutors believe 52-year-old Eric Anderson broke into a home on Bryden Street and stole a fridge, a stove, and 2 puppies. He then set the house on fire before leaving. Just 5 days later,
He on that
Anderson
stuff, bro.
accused.
You gotta be on time.
Look at this dude. Look at this dude right here.
What's wrong? Why?
Look at this diabolical mugshot.
And I'll do it again.
Look, he just looked like a dude that's up to no good. And, you know, I hate
He was
to.
a firefighter. Why were you?
Yeah, I hate to be cynical, but the dude just looked like he's up to no good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he looked like a guy that's going around stealing puppies. He looked like what he's accused of. Let's resume, man. This is crazy. We have a firefighter setting houses on fire. What's going on? Come on, man.
He's backwards.
We gotta do better, Detroit. Come on, man. Who the hell are we
That's a good
employing?
movie, ain't it?
Yeah, this is
Set fires and come put them out.
yeah. This is crazy. We have to do better, man. Come on. Let's resume. Hit the like button, please.
Of setting a garage and a dumpster on fire in that same area. Neighbors say after finding out who he is, all the fires are now starting to make sense.
That would make a lot of sense because he's been getting the fires
burning pretty well. Like it looks
He know
like
what he's doing.
he's done it before, for sure.
These professional fires.
Meantime, Anderson is also accused of setting another home on fire on Saturday. And while firefighters were responding to that fire, prosecutors say Anderson got into the firehouse on West Chicago and stole several items from them. He was arraigned Saturday with a judge setting his bond at $500,000. He's set to be back in court
I
on
didn't catch
August
that.
18th.
Hold on. Let me rewind that back.
Accused of setting a garage and a dumpster on fire in that same area. Neighbors say after finding out who he is, all the fires are now starting to make sense.
Well, that would make a lot of sense because he's been getting the fires burning pretty well. Like it looks like he's done it before, for sure.
Meantime, Anderson is also accused of setting another home on fire on Saturday. And while firefighters were responding to that fire, prosecutors say Anderson got into the firehouse on West Chicago and stole several items from them. He was arraigned Saturday with a judge setting his bond at $500,000. He's set to be back in court on August 18th.
Carritos, little overdrive.
So he was setting fire so they can leave, so he can go and steal stuff out the fire.
Yeah. So basically, he was starting fires so he could get into the firehouse, break in the firehouse to steal goods. He wanted to pilfer goods, take goods. This doesn't make no sense to me whatsoever.
Killed their what?
Excuse me. I hate this air conditioning, man. That air ain't no joke. But yeah, we have a firefighter coming out of the city of Detroit. An arsonist starting fires. He's creating his own fires. He's stealing dogs. He's stealing valuables. Creating a decoy or a diversion so he could break into the firehouse so he could take goods out of the firehouse.
Then they said puppies in a fridge? Like, he doing all of this?
He's stealing puppies in the fridge. It would have made more sense if these was homes that he owned. I don't even know the purpose of his actions. I don't know what type of goods do firehouses have. To me, again, I hate to be cynical, but the fact that he was doing this and he is a fireman seemed like he was on drugs and he was looking for stuff that he could sell to receive drugs. Think about it. A refrigerator? Come on, man. He stole someone's refrigerator and some puppies. Come on, man. This is crazy. Detroit, we got to do better, man. We have to do better. Let's see.
Oh, no, this one is sad.
Right here?
Well, no, that one ain't sad, but yeah, you can play that one.
Okay, we have East Alabama teen sentenced to 45 years for felony murder.
Fate today in a Russell County courtroom. Emotional pleas from the parents on both sides of this case before the judge rendered his final ruling for 8-year-old Jadarius Snipes. But it was his mother who ended up in handcuffs during this proceeding. Newsletter 9's Alexis Thornton joins us live from our newsroom after being at that sentencing hearing. So, Alexis, tell us more about this courtroom drama today.
Well, Jason, two fathers stood before the judge today with completely different pleas. Snipes' father begged for mercy for his son, while the victim's father demanded justice with the maximum sentence. But tensions escalated when Snipes' mother was handcuffed before the judge sentenced him to 45 years in prison.
I want you to see this because I lucked out. Because of the fact that I don't want to hear him saying stuff.
Jadarius Snipes' mother, Mary Herbert, left the courtroom after an investigator spoke to the court, referencing a social media picture the morning after the killing of Brian Bowles. The investigator says the photo shows Snipes with a gun and throwing gang signs with younger boys, influencing them, when officials say they should have been in school.
I'm entitled to be angry. I'm entitled to be pissed off. I'm entitled to walk away when I don't want to hear BS.
The judge ordered deputies to place her in handcuffs after she refused to come back inside the hearing.
So for anybody to try to condemn me or force me to listen and tell me I wanted you to be there for your son, no, you wanted me to listen to y'all lies. Because if you was actually there for my son in a traditional way, you would have never allowed none of this stuff to happen.
She is just making excuses for her son and for his act.
There's a lot of ambiguous language being thrown out there. What is she talking about?
Right.
What the hell is this woman talking about? Be there for your son in what regard? He's accused of murder. He was throwing up gang signs, posting guns. I don't know what she is expecting from the judicial system when it pertains to her son.
Yeah, why she wasn't making sure
Yeah.
she did that? That's not like she is. No, she BS.
You-
She calling them BS. They just doing what they need to do to get them locked up.
As a mother, as a father, don't expect the judicial system to be there for your child. That's
You
your
wasn't
job.
there for 'em.
Yeah, that's her job as a parent. You should have been there for your son. You should have tried to do everything in your power to put him on the right direction or guide him in the right direction. Enroll him in some type of classes to do something with all that idle time. Maybe it would have been a different type of outcome. Him being influenced by the streets, throwing up gang signs and posting guns and committing a double homicide. The judicial system gonna be there for him, all right? He gonna be in there for 45 years.
And not taking responsibility, and he doesn't either.
Snipes was sentenced to 45 years for felony murder and 20 years for robbing Douglas Rutledge before Bowles was shot in the Synovus Bank parking lot on 13th Street in Phoenix City in December 2023. Rutledge also took the stand addressing Snipes, saying, quote, "I pray that you find peace. I love you and I forgive you." Rutledge called Snipes his nephew, just knowing him from the community.
He'll be eligible for parole at some point. I don't know when. The family and our office will be notified on any future parole dates, and as far as I'm concerned, we will begin objecting as soon as the parole dates
Whole lot
come
of
up.
gang shit. That's what got him. He got a bucket hat on.
And
He still
Snipes'
kind of
mother
hat
says
on.
he will appeal in 42 days. The 15-year-old who pulled the trigger, killing Bowles, is serving time in a juvenile detention center, but due to his age, his sentence is sealed. CSU students also made a video tribute to Bowles that played in court today. Reporting in the newsroom, Alexis Thornton, WTVN News, Leader 9.
Yeah, like we saw.
So he obviously had a bad mother because he just like his mom. They said he was not contrite. He showed no signs of contrition whatsoever. No remorse for the families or the victims. Don't seem like the mom does either. It's an unfortunate situation. A young man's life was lost in the system. Another statistic is using.
Yeah. That dude punched somebody.
This one right here?
That's just like a quick little story.
Which
though.
one do you want?
Oh, you go that one. That's actually really.
This one?
This one, then the next one, that's a bigger story than one after that.
Okay.
But this is how crazy the world. People just crazy.
I got 78 pounds
You
on
have to just watch stuff.
confident again on road.
Yeah.
It ain't getting no better. It's just like, man.
One option on road when you're covered by
It was 10:40 Thursday night when authorities say Sinai Haywood entered this Williston Park Dunkin' on Hillside Avenue. A store employee told him the Dunkin' was closed. But this defendant apparently didn't want to hear that, and police say he went behind a counter and tried to make himself a coffee.
People like their coffee.
That's odd, isn't it?
I think that's too far. I think that when he went in and it was closed, he was too far.
When the 25-year-old employee told Haywood to leave for the second time, he became irate, according to court documents, striking the employee in the chest 3 times with a closed fist. Haywood then threw cups around the store and fled.
The brother was in there beating ass for a cup of coffee. That cup of Joe. Is coffee the new fentanyl?
We'll find out.
Is that Maxwell House the new drug? What say you? Is the caffeine the new fentanyl? Is that the new meth? What say you? What would you do for a cup of Joe? Let's resume. Hit that like button.
Police say they located Haywood here on nearby Mineola Boulevard, where he tried to flee on foot. Cops say a violent struggle ensued. They say Haywood did not listen to the detective's commands. He ultimately was subdued and placed under arrest.
I think people are just getting really desperate. I mean, I'm probably the guy regrets it.
Police say the Duncan...
Yeah, get him off the streets. He out there beating ass for a cup of coffee. Get him off the streets, man.
No, this down there in, where was that? The drug kingpin, the road, that one. That's the
Okay. Convicted drug kingpin hires lawyer.
On sentencing day, yeah.
Okay, on sentencing day. Let's see.
McGee acted as his own attorney, even through his 3-week trial in January. But today, the day he was supposed to be sentenced, he says he's hired an attorney.
There's a catch, though. The judge says the lawyer's office told the court that she was only hired for McGee's appeal, not today's sentencing. McGee disagreed with that, so the judge put off that sentencing until tomorrow.
But the judge did sentence McGee's wife and sister-in-law. Our Brennan Kirby joining us now in the studio. And Brennan, walk us through those sentences.
Cameron Linnaeus, instead of facing his own reckoning, McGee remained in the courtroom while the judge handed down skip penalties to 2 of McGee's family members, his wife and sister-in-law. McGee's sister-in-law, Adezen Maxey, received a longer sentence than what prosecutors recommended. His wife, Achanza Maxey, received a sentence of life. A multi-million-dollar drug conspiracy burst into public view in 2024 with a raid on a stash house on Harvey Court in Mobile near Henry Aaron Park. Investigators found a 3-year-old boy wearing a backpack full of drugs. That discovery ultimately led to an indictment against Glennie Antonio Littleman McGee. Prosecutors say he ran a multi-million-dollar drug ring that used children as couriers to move cocaine and fentanyl. Prosecutors allege he used drug...
Come on, man. Come on, bro. What is wrong with people, man? They using little kids as mules.
He thought he had it all.
What's wrong with people?
Fentanyl. They was carrying fentanyl. They could touch that and die. That's just...
He's using a little...
I'm glad they gave that wife life. You know what's going on.
Come on, man. This don't make no damn sense.
So you
Look.
stories be crazy and you don't listen.
Look. A lot of males are not men. As a man, if you choose to sell drugs, carry your weight, man. Carry your weight. You don't use children as your patsies. In drug operations, you don't use little children as drug mules. Don't expose them to that type of life at such a young age, a young pivotal age. Do your own dirt. Like, what's wrong with people? I don't get it, man. I never sold drugs, but I don't understand these people's logic, man. Using women and children, I don't get it. I don't understand.
Money to buy real estate throughout the Mobile area. A jury convicted McGee and his wife, Achanza Maxey. Maxey separately admitted to orchestrating a conspiracy to file fraudulent tax returns and steal from COVID-19 relief programs. U.S. District Judge Terry Moore sentenced Maxey to life in prison, fined her $1 million, and ordered her to pay more than $1.8 million in restitution. Defense attorney Yancey Burnett says that his client is disappointed but not shocked.
It was a recommendation by the government, and
You think?
we have
Why would he be
some
shocked?
familiarity with the reputation of the judge, so it wasn't that big a surprise.
Judge Moore also sentenced Maxey's sister, Adezen Maxey, to 13 years
Look like
and 3
Nicki
months
Minaj
for her
a little
role in the fraud case. That's
Oh,
longer
man.
than the recommendation of prosecutors. Her attorney declining to comment. Burnett says he plans to appeal Achanza Maxey's conviction. He says prosecutors blurred the distinction between awareness of a conspiracy and participation in it.
She did witness certain things, and she did know certain things, but that doesn't mean that she was part of the conspiracy. It just means that she knew certain things. That makes her a witness. It means that she knew things, but that doesn't mean she was part of the conspiracy.
There's no parole in the federal system, which means if barring a successful appeal, Achanza Maxey will spend the rest of her life behind bars. As for Glennie McGee, he'll face the judge tomorrow. Reporting live.
And he getting all day. Oh well, I want to see the update because that is from a couple days ago. I didn't even see. We gotta look that up.
Okay, dozens decomposing bodies found in cells. Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Rachel Stewart, CEO of Gardner White. This year, we doubled down on our commitment to Michigan, opening more new
We got,
stores
on
than
this
ever
particular
before.
story, we have dozens of decomposing bodies found in the funeral. What are they doing with the bodies? What are they doing with the cadavers?
The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office has been out here overnight and well into the morning, still out here right now,
That's in
removing
Chicago,
bodies
Cook
from
County.
this funeral home. It says it will try to identify the remains as quickly as possible. This morning, investigators continued the dark task of removing bodies in various states of decomposition from the South Chicago Chapel, a funeral home located in the 2900 block of East 95th.
I thought it was just like normal, like funeral home smells, but like
Hit that like button. This is in the south side of Chicago. Do you think it's O Block and 63rd still at war? Adding to these decomposing bodies that's being housed at the funeral? What's going on, Chicago? Is it still get back for FBG Duck and King Von? What's going on? What say you? Let's resume.
I always knew that it was something deeper because it just always stunk really bad.
Working off a tip, the state asked Chicago police to check out the funeral home after an initial walkthrough and the discovery of bodies not being properly stored. Investigators were locked out. Police and firefighters forced their way in. In total, 57 bodies were found in the home, some in a garage and closet. The odor was overwhelming but familiar to Valkyrie Valles.
It's awful. Like, I've lived there for about a year. I can smell it the entire year.
Family members of people who recently used the funeral home for cremation services came here this morning to try and find answers.
I think my sister may be here.
Patrice Halliburton's sister, Melody Johnson.
I hate to be morbid. But you know what that sounds like to me? Sound like one of them morticians is a necrophiliac. I'm being honest. Sound like some freaky business going on.
No, but I mean, I think some people just be, they don't be able to pay.
I wouldn't give a damn. I'm getting
Like,
it up out of there.
Right.
I'm getting it up out of there.
Weird.
You run that place like an assembly line. What's that name of the place where people can't afford to bury their own? Pottersville?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it's called Pottersville. Something like that. Look that up. I believe that's what it's called, Pottersville. That's a place where, I know it's a place where people can't afford to bury their own. They take it to a place called Pottersville, I believe.
It's like from the state, huh?
Yeah.
Passed away in May. Her
They are
services
going to
were
see
here
her.
in early June.
We were waiting for her remains. We were told that it would be about 2 to 3 months before we could get her remains. However, they called us in like a week and told us that her remains were ready.
Now, she and her family are wondering if the remains they got really belong to her sister.
There's more fear right now than anger. You know, we want to have time to process it. We don't know if Melody is in there or not.
The funeral director, Joanna Morgan, and her husband's record with the state has not been good. Last year, state investigators found a similar situation at another facility in Chicago Heights run by the pair. After being fined thousands of dollars for violations over the years, she and her husband agreed to close the location after the state moved to revoke her license.
I have no idea how something like this could happen. I have no idea how someone's conscience could allow something like this to happen.
The funeral director's license has been suspended by the state. I did reach out to the funeral home, but was only able to leave a message. We are on the far southeast side of Maryland, WGN News.
Pottersville.
Welcome to First.
But Pottersville basically means a place for people that can't afford to bury their own, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they get away life.
Oh yeah, of course.
I
believe
they
that.
They gave the wife life. They had to give him like double life.
Of course. I believe that teacher that was out there in Maryland deserved it as well.
Me too.
She's responsible.
She's gonna be in there doing it.
She's responsible for someone's life. Also, is she not responsible for taking that man's life by administering that fentanyl pill? She was exposing children to fentanyl as well. Tupac murder case trial. Don't care. Don't give a damn. Let's see what's going on in LA.
Ransacking an AutoZone store in East LA. This is one of 2 AutoZones.
Get them alternators, cuz.
This one is at Olympic Boulevard and Atlantic Avenue.
What you want out of there?
In this video, people going in and out of this.
Orderly, Holmes, get them brake pads, Holmes. Get the hydraulics, Holmes.
Alternator.
Yeah, get that alternator, Holmes. Get them brake pads, cuz.
For sure.
On dead homies, get them brake pads, cuz. Let's see what's going on in LA.
Some of them walking out with armloads of merchandise, many with their faces covered. Windows and doors were already boarded up from another break-in the night before. That also happened during a street
You got one.
The manager says the store will be closed at least 2 to 3 days, while wiring and electrical systems will have to be repaired. Employees won't be paid while the store is closed, so far no word on any arrests.
They need to go on the back part. That's what the real stuff is.
Hey, it's expensive as hell to get these cars fixed. I ain't mad at them. Shit.
Wherever we be.
You paying to get some brakes fixed, you coming out about $500-600. So they doing what they have to do to cut the cost. They running up in AutoZone, taking brake pads, alternators, transmissions, pause, anything to get a better deal. It's the mechanics, man. Let's go to New York.
The captain of the boat that capsized in New York City over the weekend has been arrested. 46-year-old Manuel Hernandez faces 13 counts of reckless endangerment. Police say a total of 14 people were aboard the vessel when it overturned near the Statue of Liberty on Saturday. A woman and her 5-month-old daughter were killed. The U.S. Coast Guard is investigating what led to the boat capsizing.
Okay, that's all I have for today. Hey, I appreciate y'all for tuning in to What the Hell is Going On News. It's been fun. My name is Aki. God bless. Stay vigilant. Peace.